and welcome to part 2 of our balance and flow series. So today we're going to be taking what we learned in the last class and applying it and also growing on it, some more postures that can help us achieve more balance and more flow out of our bodies. My name is Erica and I will be your teacher today. So we're going to take a comfortable seated position, feeling your sit bones on the ground, feeling your spine get nice and long. And I want you to feel your core muscles, and I want you to pull them in just a little bit. Shoulders back and down, heart beaming up, closing your eyes, relaxing your jaw. You can rest your hands wherever feels comfortable. For me, it's on top of my knees. And we're going to notice our next breath. And then we're going to continue to notice each breath and how it affects our whole being. So not just noticing how the inhales come in nice and cool and the exhales leave kind of warm, but we're going to notice the expansion and relaxation that comes with each breath. So a couple more. One more deep breath. And then we can open our eyes here. So we're going to gently tuck our chin down towards our chest, lengthening through the back of the neck. And just noticing everywhere you're feeling sensations of the stretch in your muscles. Maybe you're noticing it more on one side versus the other. Softening the shoulders down a little bit more, relaxing your face. One more breath here. And then gently bring your head back up to neutral. We tilt the right ear towards the right shoulder. And just still looking straight ahead or closing your eyes. Noticing that stretch happening on the left side of your neck. If you want to deepen it, you can lower the left shoulder a little bit or compress down through that shoulder blade. You might notice the stretch on the left side of your neck here disappearing behind your ear. Maybe starting to travel around the front of the neck. Or just kind of hanging onto that back edge of the side of your neck. And they're all valid spots to be finding this stretch. You might notice that you're carrying more tension in certain areas. So see if you can get a little bit more relaxation out of the next 2 deep breaths. And then bring the head back up to neutral, opening the eyes, and we're taking it to the other side. So yoga is not yoga without its intention, continuing to stretch over to the left side. So this is the point where we're going to be setting our intention. So because this series is about balance and flow, we are going to see if we can make an intention to incorporate that theme deeply into the next few minutes that we are in this class. And then maybe even taking that intention even further and seeing if you can sprinkle it throughout your day. 2 more deep breaths. And then bringing the head back to the center. Good. So from here, we're going to come into tabletop. So if this bothers your knees, to be on your knees here, you can use a pillow, or you can fold up your mat a couple times and use a little bit extra cushion out of that folded rubber or cloth, depending on what your mat is, or if you're using the floor, pillows, or carpet. Wrists right underneath your shoulders, knees hip distance apart. And I want you to pull in the lower belly here. So engaging through the core is going to help with our balance immediately in this flow, but also continuing on when we are building up that balance. And we're going to move into some cat and cows here, and I want you to notice your pelvis. So we're going to drop the pelvis down like we're dumping water out of our pelvic bowl, and then we're going to roll up our chin, lifting through the chest. And then on your exhale, we're going to start tucking the tailbone under. No more spilling the water out. We're actually pulling it in, or perhaps even collecting more from the sky. Round the back up, press through the hands, tuck the chin under. Inhale. Again, we're going to dump the water out. Let the belly open. Press the chest forward. Lift the chin. And exhale. Tuck the tailbone back under. Pull the spine up towards the sky. Press away from the earth and tuck the chin down. 2 more times. So 2 more flows here. Inhale up into cow. Exhale, pressing back into cat. 1 more time, just helping to lubricate the spine and connect us deeper with the way that our body is moving and how we can get it to move in different ways. And then back into tabletop. So this is our first balance pose here. Left hand planted, we're going to reach the right arm out in front of you like you're trying to shake somebody's hand. Keep your gaze down. And for this one, you might need to take the right knee a little bit more in the center line of your body, but we can play around here. So the right arm is extended, and then the left toes touch back behind you as you straighten the leg. Now if you want to take this further, lift the left leg up, and we're going to take 3 deep breaths. Pull in the lower belly. 1, 2, and 3. Bring the right hand down, bring the left knee down. We're going to switch sides. Shift your weight into the right hand. Again, you might need to pull that left knee in a little bit closer towards your center line. Left arm extends out in front of you. Curl the back toes back behind you and press into the floor. More challenge, lift the right leg up and gaze stays down. 3 deep breaths. 1, 2, pull the lower belly in. And 3, coming on down. Good. So to relax our shoulders a little bit, you can choose to come into child's pose here for a couple breaths. Or we're going to stay in tabletop, and we can flip the wrist back over. Give a stretch to the back of the hands. Excellent. From here, we're going to step it back into plank. So we're going to take a couple deep breaths here in plank, and plank is to engage the core. So pull in the lower belly, press your mat or the floor away like it would float up if your hands weren't holding it down. 3 more deep breaths. 1, 2, and 3. Bring the knees back down. And again, if you want to flip the palms up, you can do that. Or you can come into child's pose and also flip the palms up. Coming back up into tabletop, we're going to curl the toes under, lift our hips up, coming into our first downward facing dog. So pressing back, and then we're going to pedal through this dog a little bit to create more flow in our bodies. Nice and slow through the pedaling. Still pulling the lower belly in if it feels comfortable here. Gaze back behind you. On your next inhale, we're going to lift the gaze, and on the exhale, we're working our way to the center of our mat. And we're going to fold here. So we're going to come into what's called ragdoll pose. Step the feet out about hip distance apart. You can let the arms dangle. You can grab opposing biceps or elbows, whichever feels more comfortable here. Let your head drop completely and soften through the knees. We're going to create a little bit more openness through the lower back here with a gentle sway. Semicircle over to the right side, opening up through the left side of the lower back, back through the center and taking it all the way over to the left side, opening up the right side of your back. Back through the center, over to the right side. Feel the weight shift into the opposite foot as you're twisting. Over to the left side. One more time on each side. And back through the center. We're going to drop our seat, lift our arms, coming up into chair pose, heel toe the feet together. And we're going to lift the arms, squeezing the shoulder blades back and down. Pull in the lower belly. Straightening all the way up. Hands to heart center. Come back to that intention that you set with balance and flow in mind. From here, we're going to come into warrior 1. So you're going to step the left foot forward and right foot back. And see if you can take up as much space on your mat as feels appropriate here. We are trying to challenge an aspect of ourselves here, so it's important to continue to put those challenges in the rest of the class. Knifing in the back edge of your right foot. Lift the arms all the way overhead, and you can be more graceful and relaxed here since we are working with flow. Lifting through the chest. Take a deep breath in. Nice soft breath out. Nice deep bend in the left knee, maybe lowering the hips a little bit more. Deep breath in. Nice soft breath out. One more time, and then we're going to move into warrior 2. Good. On the exhale, we're going to open the arms out to a T, left arm in front, right arm behind you. Gaze goes to your middle left finger, and we're going to position our hips a little bit more open to the right, but judge for yourself how intense that feels in your left thigh or into those hip flexor area. If it feels too tight here, you can come up on the back toes a little bit and swivel around them. One more deep breath in your warrior 2. And we're going to tilt this back into reverse warrior. You're going to keep your left knee planted. You're going to take your left arm all the way overhead. So you're still driving through that left leg. Gaze is lifted. Arm is over your head and extended out. The right arm can go down the right leg, or you can hook it behind your back. The deep breaths are a little bit harder here in this posture, so just one more easy breath. then we're going to come into what's called side angle. So you're going to bring the left elbow to the left thigh, reach the right arm out past your head, and gaze up at the right fingertips. One more deep breath. And then we're going to spiral this back into warrior two. We're going to pivot this back into warrior one. And then we're going to come up on the back toes. This is where we're going to move into our warrior three. So shifting your weight into the left leg, pick up the right toes, and we're pivoting into our warrior three. One more deep breath. And we're going to rise back up. Right foot plants down next to the left foot. And now we're switching sides. Left foot steps back. Warrior one on this side. So the hips are squared a little bit more to the front in warrior one. We're taking 3 deep breaths. After your third breath, we're going to move into warrior two. Good on the exhale, peeling to warrior two. Keep the bend in the right knee, take up space on your mat. Good. On the inhale, we'll tilt back to reverse warrior. So left hand either slides down the leg, or you can hook it behind your back. Keep the bend in the right knee. And then we're going to bring the right elbow to the right thigh. Left arm reaches out and over. Side angle. If you want more challenge, bring your gaze up and underneath your arm. Spiraling this back into warrior two. Pivoting it back to warrior one. Now we're going to come up on the back toes. Coming into our warrior three now. Shift the weight forward. Pick up the back toes. I'm a little close to my railing, so I'm going to choose another option, which is clasping my hands behind my back. One more deep breath. And then coming back up to standing. Come back to your intention. And now we're going to come into tree pose. Left foot planted, right foot pulling in. Either above or below the knee. Press the foot into the leg, leg back into the foot. Hands are mimicking the same action. And then press the arms all the way overhead if you want a little bit more challenge. Pulling the lower belly in, squeezing the glutes. One more deep breath. Hands come down first, then the foot comes down. Switching sides. Foot into the leg, palms pressing, and then lifting. See if you can relax your breath here. Oh, my pants are super slippery on this side for some reason. More pushing. One more deep breath. Hands come down first, and then the foot releases. So we're going to step out the feet nice and wide across our mat, and turn the toes towards each other a little bit, so you're a little bit pigeon-toed. Hands are going to go on the hips. Deep inhale lifts through the chest. Exhale, folding down. Let your head drop here. You're going to see if you can try to pinch your fingers in your hip crease. We're just going to take 4 deep breaths. Let the exhales soften you. Surrendering a little bit more to gravity, but still using that strength out of your legs to keep you from wavering. One more deep breath. On the next inhale, we're just going to come up halfway, flatten the back, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Take an exhale. Inhale the rest of the way up. If you feel a little lightheaded, arms go overhead and some spirit fingers. We're going to take a seat now. Oh, excuse me. Okay. So soles of the feet are going to come together. And if this does not feel comfortable for you, or you feel like you're up here, you can also use some pillows underneath to get a little bit more relaxation out of your hips. If you're feeling that kind of scary feeling in your hip flexors where it doesn't feel safe, you can bring the floor up to you using props and blankets and pillows so that you can get that kind of softened relaxation, that safety feeling, so that your body can start to relax down. First, we're going to grab our feet, lengthen through the spine, and we're going to lean forward, roll to the right, back, left, forward again. A couple times in this direction. And you can get really into it. You can send this spiral all the way up into your spine. Get your shoulders to kind of rock and roll with you. Or you can let your head go and let your head mimic the movements, taking it all the way up. One more time in this direction. And the next time you find yourself forward, pause, straighten up. And then we're going to lean forward again. Take it over to the left, back, right, and forward again. A couple more times. One more time around. And the next time you find yourself forward, straighten the spine up and continue to lean forward in that straightness. So I want you to notice the space between the bottom of your ribs and your pelvis. And we're going to keep that space as open as we possibly can in a forward fold. So that requires a little bit more push forward of our chest and our heart. Shoulder blades are going to squeeze back a little bit more back engagement here. We're going to take 6 deep breaths here, helping to loosen up the hips. And all of these postures are going to help to prepare you for the third part in this series, which is going to create even more flow and be a little bit more challenging for balance. So if today's class was challenging for you, I suggest rewatching and practicing a couple more times before you get into the third series. Or you can watch the third series, decide what you can and cannot do, and then continue to practice and work with the third video, and watch the second video and practice that to help supplement those areas that feel like you're still getting stuck in them. After your 6th exhale, we're going to rise up on the 7th inhale. So there might be one more breath for you, or just come on up if you're already there. Good. And then we're going to go all the way down onto our backs. And pull our knees in towards our chest. A little bit of gentle rocking and rolling here. Squeeze the knees in. And then we're going to bring the arms out to a T across the floor. Knees are going to stay nice and tight in a tight little package. We're going to take them all the way over to the right side. And then our gaze is going to turn to the left, or we're going to look over to the left hand. Now, if this is intense for you, you can bring the knees down a little bit. But I warn you that if you get too much twist in the lower back, it can cause issues later on. We're trying to twist more in that mid-thoracic spine. So that's where we're going to be twisting here. If you already ate within the past hour, this might be a little bit uncomfortable. We're just going to take one more deep breath. Now first the gaze goes up towards the sky, and then the knees pull back in towards your chest. You can squeeze them in again here. And then arms are going to come back out, and we're taking it all the way over to the other side. So knees to the left, gaze to the right. And just take a couple moments to reflect back on your intention here. Creating more flow right now in our spine. Opening up areas where the nervous system flows through. Opening up all the fascia attachments. Gaze goes back up towards the sky first, then the knees pull back in. Give yourself a big squeeze in. And then here, a nice ergonomic way to set yourself back up to seated is to roll to your favorite side. The arm that's on top is going to press into the floor, the hand's going to press into the floor, and it's going to push you up. Getting back into your nice, comfortable seated position. Taking a deep breath in. Nice long breath out. Now we're going to continue to breathe here, but I want you to think of this. That you have flow within you. Your natural state is to flow. When we let all of our stress and tension start to bind us, contract us, to stiffen us, we are not able to be in our most optimal state. Flow is a natural state. Balance is a natural state. It doesn't take much to nudge us into that state or into those states. It's not hard. Our body wants to be in those states. Next couple breaths, just watching the breath flow in and escape with your exhale. Visualizing all the stress and tension that you managed to release out of your body today is kind of moving to the surface of your skin, kind of like sweat. Your body is pushing it out. That fresh prana is replacing it. And as it moves to the surface of your skin, it kind of drips off and creates a little pool on your mat. And that pool runs off of your mat and disappears into the floor. all of that energy is not inherently bad. It was just energy that your body held on to. So now we have released it back into the world where it can hopefully be a benefit in use to some other being. We begin closing our yoga class with hands in prayer position at heart center and bowing our head down. Bowing to ourselves, honoring and thanking ourselves for taking the time today to spend this moment in the present, to show love to our bodies, to show compassion and understanding for our bodies, and for bringing peace, balance, and flow into our bodies, our minds, and our spirit. And now I bow to you. The divine light within me honors and bows to the divine light in each one of you. Namaste. Have a good rest of your day.